Winnipeg was chosen to host the second International Winter Cycling Congress, following up on the first one in Oulu, Finland. We had 200 overall attendees, including 71 speakers.
I'm from Finland, Oulu.
Seattle, Washington.
I'm from Villers, Quebec, Montreal.
And I'm from Massachusetts.
Edmonton.
Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Chicago. Whitehorse, Yukon.
Ohio City Bicycle Co-op.
I'm from Altona. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
I came from Bodø, Norway.
You need all kinds of people to come together, whether they're engineers, whether they're artists, whether they're filmmakers, whether they're politicians, whether they're leaders in business.
Ça permet de situer Montréal parmi d'autres villes qui se ressemblent. Et c'est souvent comme ça qu'on fait évoluer les choses. C'est en comparant qu'est-ce qui se fait dans des villes similaires.
We always paint Europe as this kind of promised land of cycling year-round, but they have the same challenges that we do. They just have a different sort of mentality and approach to dealing with it. And I think that paradigm shift is something that we can start to cultivate here. It's really a culture shift.
We have a very strange approach to winter. I think those of us who live in winter cities, which is we never think about it, we never design for it, we complain about it mainly, and we worry about it at the last minute, having had no plans in place. What cycling brings to this is, like it brings to anything, it's a new perspective on how you see where you're from and how you see how you live your life. And it's brought a new perspective on winter in the sense of how can winter be something that's a positive thing for design? How can we make it so that people actually enjoy their experience?
Well, I really liked that everybody had the attitude that we really shouldn't be talking about this as winter cycling, but as cycling. And that the idea of making it year-round should be understood by everybody, traffic planners, city governments, provincial governments, state governments, and so on.
From a design perspective, there are a couple of things that were really simple but very strong messages that we learned from, especially from Finland and Sweden and Norway and others, was if you have a really well-designed bike facility, whether it's bike lane or cycle track in summer, it will still be good in winter. And so that you have thought about in terms of where is that snow storage going to be, how is it going to be plowed, what sort of equipment is it going to require.
The most important thing right now is to get the infrastructure right, to have the separate cycle lanes, to really make cycling safety, even during the summertime, but also during the wintertime. So in that way, also the winter maintenance would be a lot easier.
Bicycles, of all those other modes of transportation, seem like one of the trickier ones to accommodate because, it's, slippery, is it going to be? But the reality is, first of all, that bicycles are really not so bad in winter conditions. They work quite well. You don't need any kind of special bike. You can use any kind of bike as long as you plow it properly. And now when you refocus, you start to realize that people who are on bicycles, people who are in wheelchairs, people who are pushing a stroller, dragging a toboggan, walking, those kind of people make a city live, breathe, and they make its heart beat.